What's going on today, guys? It's the boy with allergies, and today what we're looking to do is build Randy's Skyline R34. Yes, Randy from Illiminate, who's currently building a GTT Skyline R34, but is trying to do a case swap into it, calling it the GT Type R. Now, unfortunately, today we're building on console, and so I won't have access into any engine swaps, unfortunately, but main goal is just to go ahead and style the GTR in CarX Drift Racing as similar as possible to the build that Randy's got going on for himself. That thing is so sick. If you haven't seen it before, I'm gonna go ahead and play a clip of it right here. Now that thing is clean, man. Paint, wheels, he's got the air suspension on it. So we can go ahead and live luxury in a fictional world of actually swinging that thing. Now it's labeled as the Horizon GT4 in CarX in particular. I have driven it before. I already got like a semi-tune on it just to be able to like hit the streets with it. But again, all we're looking to do is really mod this thing in inspiration of Randy's Skyline. He's got a full Z-Tune kit on it. At first he started with Workmeister wheels, then he switched over to Blitz 03s, neither of which are in this game, so we're gonna also be looking out for the most hot boy expensive Japanese wheels we can find in this game that would kind of bring home that resemblance of a hot boy Japanese chrome wheel that he has. Of course, since he's got it on bags, we're gonna be slamming it shortly after we mess with the tune at the very end. So I already got the stock body kit, but like the tune version, so we can actually get in there and play around with it. So I know he's got just the standard xenon headlights of the R34. Regarding the front bumper, the car comes with a lip on the stock bumper anyway, so it already looks identical to the Z-Tune front bumper, which is cool. Of the hoods available, closest to the Z-Tune hood is the missile hood. Unfortunately, it does have those like latches. It's just for the missile aesthetic for the game in particular, so we'll make do with what we got here. Of course, he got the Ganna doors. Unfortunately, the other mirrors besides stock can't get paint matched. So I think what I'll do, I'll just keep the stock mirrors since he's got white paint matched Ganna doors. None of these would be paint matched in the game, so we'll just keep that stock. All right, closest to Z-Tune for the skirts will be the R&T. And then at least the options for the rear bumper, we're just going to leave it stock. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the lower lips like the Z-Tune rear bumper, but unfortunately, they don't have one that matches, complements the rest of it. So the closest thing would be the stock bumper here. No spoiler. I don't think he's modified the actual exhaust. So I feel like the closest one to his car is actually the stock one. So we'll just go ahead and leave that as is. He's got bridge seats in there. So at least to represent the style of seat he has, we're just gonna go R Corp. I believe he has a Nardi wheel as well, so R Corp is pretty close to that wheel. Steering wheel in particular, stock shifter, stock handbrake, just because it's not a drift car, at least for him. My biggest dilemma was kind of having either chromed out VSKFs or these SSR Mini Veras. Now, both very hot boy, but I feel like I have to give credit to the Mini Veras just because I feel like it resembles more of like a Blitz 03 kind of style. And I think the way they'll look chromed out, larger diameter wheel is just going to look awesome. I know Randy just got his Skyline painted like this custom color. He was wanting it white, but then they kind of threw in this like undertone of blue from what I'm able to see. So it's definitely more of like a gloss. Honestly, it's really hard to capture the kind of paint job he got. Like the paint tools aren't as diverse as like other games like maybe Forza, where you can kind of like two-tone it, so you can barely see like maybe a tiny hint of like the blue, but for the most part the car is white. It's clearly white. Now the wheels, very simple. We just need to chrome them out. So chromed out all the way. This car definitely needs more rim than tire, so we're gonna go ahead and fix that in the dyno stand right now. So he's definitely running some like super thin tires to get the look that he's wanting to, especially since he's running air. So a good happy medium between being low as hell but still kind of functional looking. Here we go. So just wrapped up the actual suspension for it. Got that lip to fender just like how he has it. Very low, big wheel, big chromed out wheels to go ahead and complement that white paint there. I think it really does capture the essence of what he was going for. Just like many of his other builds, they're very simple, not loud, so just a clean paint job or wrap. But in this case, he got a really nice paint job, sick JDM wheels. He's got the Z-Tune all around. We're looking good. We're looking clean. We're going to go ahead and hit up my favorite hometown track, Atron. All right, let's go ahead and run this. Oh, get the little love tap going. I love the way this car bounces off the rev limiter. Oh my goodness. I almost lost it there. Recovered it at the end. Now usually at this track I always like to run it third gear, just because that's the happiest gear with typically all the cars that I'll run. But this car in particular, it does have the power to be able to surpass the low RPMs in fourth gear. So right now it's bouncing third, so I'll upshift to fourth. Bring it down to third just because it's a slower corner here. 95, I'll accept that, man. All right, so now we're at Springville, just to go ahead and give it a try. I know this is a more of a fourth to fifth gear track, so we'll be able to actually open her up a little bit more. Oh my god, barely saved it with the e-brake there. Going in for the second run. Definitely winning for style points. Let's go. 88, I will take that, man. This car, the way it's tuned to make it look like this, it is mad slippery, but I don't care. It's looking good while it's sliding. We can go ahead and see the recap here. Definitely wish they had the Z-Tune front fenders. I feel like that's what would have been the game changer, to go ahead and replicate it just as close as possible to Randy's actual Skyline. But here it is, a little glimpse of how it would be if that Skyline would actually slide a bit. All in all, I'm really happy how this car came out. I know a lot of people on this game will go crazy with their builds, taking advantage of like the missile body kits. They got holes everywhere in their car, missing headlights and stuff. And I love that, just because the amount of customization that you can do to the cars, as well as rip off of the cars in this game, is like no other compared to others, especially for people who are still console gamers and don't have the luxury of being able to mod their games in particular. So at least for this build, I'm really happy the way it came out, just because I always love a simple, clean build. The white paint with the blue undertone, as well as the chromed out wheels, and getting as close as possible to that Z-Tune aesthetic that Randy's got going on. This car is freaking sick. Happy to see where Randy's taking his build to the next level. Definitely want to dial this car a little bit more so it can have this kind of aesthetic and stance, but be a little more grippy, just so I can actually put that power to the ground. But besides that, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Be sure to check out the next upcoming one regarding CarX. Make sure to subscribe and like this video if you want me to keep doing more YouTuber car builds, but recreating them, revamping them into the world of CarX in particular. But besides that, have a beautiful rest of your day, and thanks for watching. That's a mattress. You ain't stingy, split your tablet.